Marc Riley here in Salford Media City. I've been rejoined in the studio by Gary Numan. Hello, Gary.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I say rejoined because we had a bit of a natter before about where you're living now, and I've been watching the sound check tonight and watching it all rolling along nicely. To begin with, if you don't mind, introduce the band members that are with you tonight.
Keyboards over here is David Brooks.
Hello. Hello, David.
Been with some time. And over here is Aid Fenton, who also produces the records, and there's a whole load of other stuff.
Right, okay. Hello, Aid.
Hello, mate.
Right, now then, if we add to proceedings yourself, Gary, and also Gemma, your wife, that's the whole kit and caboodle in total. I expected, quite sincerely, Shirley trucking, maybe 25 roadies, you know, a fleet of cars, all manner of things. I got here and I was told that there'd been 2 cars that had landed already with David and Aid in, and there was another car due along any moment with you in.
Yeah.
And I applaud you. I absolutely applaud you, because it really, really wasn't what I was expecting. I mean, you're low maintenance. This isn't the way it's supposed to be.
No, we're low maintenance. Drive myself as well.
I know.
Yeah. No, all that big stuff, don't really need it.
Right, okay. I mean, you've been through all that, haven't you?
Yeah. It's great fun, but you sometimes it's more embarrassing to turn up like that than just to stroll in on your own. With this huge entourages, because you don't really need them most of the time. You can quite capable of setting up your own gear and plugging stuff in.
Yeah, I mean, it's some kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? If you have a big gang of people around you looking after you, then people are going to wonder who's in the middle of the big gang of people and give you a hassle, aren't they?
Yeah.
You best just milling about. That's the way I do. That's why I come in without any minders.
Is it?
It works for me.
I noticed that, yeah.
Every night it works for me. It's incredible. Also, Bill's been on, a regular correspondent on the programme, Bill Coleman. He said, "Bonjour, Mark. Blimey, matey, Gary Numan in the house. I first saw Mr. Numan in 1977 at the Royal Hotel in Luton. A biker pub, no less. Gary had his blonde look, no keyboards, and played, I think, either I Want to Be Your Dog or Search and Destroy by the Stooges. About 30 people present, all for 50 pence.
Yeah, I remember that.
You do remember it?
I do remember it, yeah. I only did Luton once, got glasses thrown at us that night, legged it.
Really?
Honest to God, I remember it really well, yeah.
Right, well, I suppose you would remember it, wouldn't you? But so there were no synths at all when you were doing that?
I didn't get into synths until 78. I was a punk band before that.
Yeah, okay, because you started off playing guitar you had a Gibson Les Paul that brought for you by your dad, didn't you?
Yeah, still got it.
Right,
Same
okay.
one.
All right, well, if there was one record, I mean, we'll get to the serious kind of chat about music, as serious as it can ever be with me, but if there was one record that sent you off on the kind of the synth route, what record would it have been that inspired you to do that and put the guitar down for a while?
There wasn't one. I went into studio to record a punk album, and there was a synth line in the corner, and I'd never seen one before, and I had a go of it there and then, and loved it, and quickly over the next 2 or 3 days kind of grafted that on to the punk songs I had and took that back to the record company, which it wasn't what I was expecting at all, and nor were they happy about it, actually.
Oh, really?
So it was a bit of a fight to get it released, but we did, and then I think 3 or 4 months after that, did another album really quick, and that went to #1, so it came good really, really quickly.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I hadn't heard of any electronic stuff when I started doing it. It was there, and I was just ignorant. I didn't know about it.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, ignorance is bliss, obviously, and the record company were wrong, as is often the case. You're going to do the new single for us now, aren't you, which is called Love, Hurt, Bleed, which you played on this occasion. Yeah, okay, great. Get to it. Thank you. Nothing short of fabulous, really great Gary Numan live in session, and that is a version of Love, Hurt, Bleed, which is a new single. So, I did explain to you that some of the audience can be slightly mischievous, so I'm always like handled with caution when things come through, but this is Kevin, and he said, "Hello Mark, can you ask Gary if he likes the media attention his dog Wilbur is getting at the moment?" So, so what's that about? Because that passed me by.
We went on a 3-week road trip recently, me and my family, in an RV around California.
Right.
And we took Wilbur with us. Wilbur is this huge 200-pound dog, massive thing.
Okay.
And I started doing little tweets as if they were from Wilbur the talking dog, with humorous photographs attached to it. And it just got caught on, really. And then somebody set up a Wilbur Newman Twitter page of it, which I wanted to do that.
Right,
Someone
okay. I
else
mean,
has
surely you've got copyright on Wilbur. You
Apparently
must
not.
have. Right,
So
okay.
he even tweets. Somebody else is even tweeting on his behalf now.
No, that's celebrity for you, isn't it? That's a celebrity dog. I'll have to try it for my Buster, see how that pans out. But that's not so out of the way for you, is it? Because you do live in California.
Yeah, we moved to Los Angeles last October.
Okay, are you liking it out there?
Love it very much. Yeah.
Okay, you've got your own castle, haven't you?
Well, it's a big house that is made to look like it's as fake as anything else over there, in a nice way.
In a nice way, of course. Be careful what you say. You've got to go back and face the neighbours, of course, before.
No, it's brilliant. It's brilliantly fake, but it does look like a castle, and I love it very much.
Yeah, you've described it to me, and it sounds absolutely amazing. You must be one of the unluckiest men on earth. I mean, despite all the facts and all the fame and success that you've had, you've been out whale watching them 4 or 5 times and seen like one whale, have you?
Yeah, just about saw one baby whale in the distance. That was it.
Oh, you need your lucky talisman there with you, which would be me, obviously. Listen, we need music, don't we, really? So you're going to do another tune for us now from the new album Splinter, aren't you?
Yes.
And what's this one called?
This is called Lost.
Great.
So it's over, and I'm lost.
Fabulous Gary Numan live in session with Lost. I tell you, Gary, that was really eerie then, because halfway through the song itself, I took the headphones off, and obviously everything is silent apart from you singing on your own.
Sorry about that.
No, it's just unusual in this room. It's usually everything's flapping about with the amps going full blast. So the album Splinter, it's out on the 14th of October through Cooking Vinyl.
Yes.
Okay. And as I say, I've been playing the single Love Hurt Bleed already, and we haven't got the album yet. But there was a 7-year gap between albums. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Too long.
Yeah, and I also read that you have spurts of really working very, very hard on it, and then these like periods of not doing anything at all. Which I mean, how is it to record an album in such a way? You know, you get some momentum and then just stop and then go and do something else.
Well, no, it's not supposed to be like that. The first 3 or 4 years, I didn't write anything at all. I got depression and medication for that, and midlife crisis, and my wife had similar problems. She had postnatal depression, so we were grating, and life just went a bit wrong for a while, and I didn't feel like it because I was depressed, and you got no go, didn't want to start it, and it also seemed like a too big a thing to start because there's a lot of pressure comes with it. It's a roller coaster emotional thing to make an album. It's a big thing to do, and I thought that trying to do something like that when we was already in trouble, we just had a whole load more pressure that we didn't need. So it was only when that was getting better that I started trying to write again, and that's why it was in little fits and farts and a few songs and in a gap as it was slowly getting better. And then when I was better, I got stuck into it properly. So, but that wasn't, I guess, until the end of 2011.
Really? Right, okay.
And then I did half of it, moved to America, did the other half. So it's all fairly recent, I guess.
Right, okay. Because, I mean, as you say, I mean, once you start that treadmill rolling, I mean, it's a wonderful treadmill to be on. You're going all over the world and playing your music if you're in the right mood to do it and the right state of mind to do it. But, of course, it's your life is mapped out for the next 3 years, probably, isn't it? You do the album and then you've got the world tours and everything. It's not as easy as people might think it is.
There's a lot of pressures come with it. Obviously you've got to come up with a really good album. You've got to get all your deals and everything in place to work it as much as you can, and then the touring. But if you can put all that to one side, because you that's what you do. You have to deal with that side of it. The bit that's left is just brilliant. Actually, yeah, it's really good fun. I love touring. I love the travelling. Being on stage every night, playing your songs. It's what we do it for.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you playing. It would have been around the promotion of the last album, so it would have been 7 years ago. I thought it was a lot less, and it was a really remarkable show at the Academy in Manchester, and it was so aggressive and it was industrial, and I was thinking about this the other day when I was thinking about the fact that you're coming on the programme, and your career, it's got many more parts than 3, but, ostensibly looking at it, you had kind of what appeared to be overnight fame, which is obviously going to be quite hard to deal with, and with that almost inevitably, unless you go away, comes a period of your career where people think, oh yeah, he's still here, but he's not fresh and as exciting as he was.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's this third part of your career, which I would say probably came around about maybe 10 years ago, you tell me, when you started getting name dropped by the likes of Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails and Ministry and Depeche Mode and Africa Bambaataa, you know, and all of a sudden it is one of those things whereby, hello, he's a legend, you know, and but it must be really strange for you to live through those different kind of processes in your life, because they're all pretty extreme, aren't they?
Yeah, it is. It's been quite an extreme sort of life, to be honest. But I'm very grounded. You know, the whole rock star thing, it's good fun and all that, but I don't really live like that. And so when it was going great, I'm okay with that. When it's not going so well, I'm kind of like, you know, you don't want it to be going badly, but I'm not all shattered and broken and turning to drugs and drinking all that crap. Right. Just get on with it. You know, you carry on writing and you hope you can write better stuff. I wrote some rubbish for a while, to be fair, so I deserved the middle years to be as bad as they were. I wasn't doing stuff that deserved to be really successful. And then I got myself sorted out. And then luckily people started to say nice things about me, and so I became credible. And the Renaissance began, and it's been slowly building ever since.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, people must have a preconceived idea of what you're going to be like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect you to be like, you know, kind of robotic and all that kind of rubbish. But I thought you'd be maybe a bit more of a serious guy. I mean, you're very serious about your music, but we've just been laughing in it, and, you know, having a great laugh with the guys and that. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be, and it is great, but people will have a preconceived idea. And I suppose that's a little bit of your own making because of the very stark kind of image that you particularly came out with at the beginning.
Yeah, you know, to look at an album cover or to listen to the music, I don't come across as being a comedian. I'm not.
No,
really. But
you're not spinning dicky bells and that kind of stuff going on, is it? I mean, that's safe to say.
But I'm not quite as serious as the music would have you believe.
Right, okay. Well, the music is wonderful. And what else was I going to ask you? Oh, yeah, has there been one period in your life, or at one point, or one episode in your life where you thought, hang on, is this really happening to me? What is the most kind of ridiculous thing that's ever happened to you? Because of, you know, obviously, like I said, the fame that you've had, and we all know that you fly planes and all manner of things. But is there any point you've just stopped yourself and thought, hang on a minute, how did I end up doing this?
Well, the most extreme period would have been the first year when it happened, because I was still living at home, mum and dad. I was young,
right,
still young, and I hadn't done an interview. I'd never been on the radio, and within 2 weeks, I think I was number one. Wow. And massive everywhere. And there's girls fainting. You know, that's a bit weird,
right?
And you know, weird stuff going on, and you know, bullets arriving in the post with threatening letters, and one extreme to the other, and it was overnight. And you in a way, you're kind of expected to just take it in your stride, and obviously you can't. You know, it's just a massive mental thing to go through, and you do your best. You just do your best to stay as normal as possible when everything around you appears to be going mad, right, and you live through it.
Well, do you know, I mean, I can only give you one tiny little snapshot where it affected my life. Not being famous, because I've never been, but when I was playing with the Fall, we played in the Marquee, and we'd finished the set. We were in the dressing room afterwards, miserable gits as always, and we just sat there having a beer. And this guy comes in and sits down beside us, and we're like, "Well, what do you want?" And he said, "I'm Gary Numan's drummer." And we're like, "Right, what do you want?" And he took a beer and went, "Oh, all right, be like that," and went. And we're going, "That was a bit weird, wasn't it?" Anyway, it was in the NME next week that there'd been a guy going around London impersonating your drummer and getting into gigs and pinching everybody's beer.
Really?
So, yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, well, there you go. I heard of it, and I met him, obviously. But, you know, I've spoken enough, and it's just really great hearing you. I'm so refreshing, like I say, and the music has been wonderful. So you're going to do an old tune for us now, aren't you?
Yeah, this is called Down in the Park.
Fabulous.
Down in the park, little Mike men made the machines in play, kill by numbers. Down in the park with the Franco fight. Well, I was in a car crash, what they do, but I've never been quite the same. Little white light like I was there.
Wow, wonderful stuff. Gary Numan live in session and down in the park. So, as I say, the album Splinter is coming out. What's the date that it's coming out? I've got it written down somewhere. Let's have a look here. The 14th of October.
Yes.
Fabulous stuff. All right. Well, again, thank you very much for coming in, Gary. Just really, really great. And David and Age. Just been magical. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
It was fabulous.